Wait a minute. We're trying something new. I don't know. I see my aunties do this, so I want to do it too. I want to do a breakdown for the trade that I took today. More like trades, and I ended up walking out with literally straight up break even on everything. Look at this. Hey, first buy, second buy, third buy, and we got a huge expansion to the upside. But the way I managed and had my stop orders, I kind of just a bit of sabotage. But let's go through everything and break down as to why I took this trade, because I want to delete all of this mess that I have. So starting from the daily, we're still just expanding to the upside from this monthly fair value gap, expanding pretty strong, leaving my draw on liquidity right here. I marked this SMT out just so I'm aware of it, but we are SMTing with this high in comparison to ES. So I wanted to keep that in mind. Aside from that higher time frame bearish SMT, I do not think it was enough to change my bias to bearish. I decided to keep following the current order flow legs that we're trading in. So if you zoom in and you look where we are, you can see Monday. Looks like I can confidently say that we formed the low of the week. We formed the low of the week and then managed to expand higher, and now what I'm seeing is price retracing. We did not trace back into equilibrium, but we did end up tracing into a 4-hour imbalance that was right above our equilibrium. Just so we can see where that equilibrium is, I'm starting from this low because that's where my fair value gaps are. This is the order flow leg that I'm focusing on, and our equilibrium is right here. At our equilibrium, we also have a 4-hour volume imbalance. So I decided to mark that out. Initially, that's where I wanted price to trade to this morning, which would have also lined up with the fact that I wanted us to sweep this London low and then continue to the upside. However, we were not doing that. I came into the session, we were ranging at this 4-hour imbalance and we were respecting it. At equity open, we ended up running all of the lows that was left of this pre-market range that we got going on right here. This range went down pre-market. However, this low is our London low. I wanted us to come and sweep this low. However, we just ended up sweeping the lows of the pre-market. So once that happened and we ended up getting a SMT in comparison to ES, I'm like, all right, this might be the manipulation of the move. Price might be ready to head to the upside. So I decided to go in with half of my risk. I only risked $100. I only risked $100, planning to scale back into my position after a real displacement, right? So we got that. Here you can see price enters. I get triggered in. We go straight into drawdown. Stayed in drawdown for quite some time, but I decided to trust my bias, just waiting for a clean breakout. We ended up getting that minutes later. We broke to the upside, leaving us an M5 imbalance. This right here is an M5 imbalance, but we ended up forming a breakaway fair value gap. So if we go down to the 5-minute, you can see that the fair value gap that we formed here, because we closed above the second candle high with a pretty decent body, I was telling to myself, I'm like, all right, we might not actually trade back inside of this M5 fair value gap. We might just keep going higher, because with this type of fair value gap that's being shown, I'm thinking to myself, all right, price is pretty aggressive, price is ready to go. So with that being in mind, I'm like, all right, what's going to tick me to really add the rest of my position in? And what did is we traded inside of this down close candle on the M1, and I went all the way down to the M15 and I got my manipulation. I got my entry formation displaced to the upside, so I decided to enter, and we did that. I entered, we displaced again to the upside. Once we closed above our recent high, I decided to break even. Now by that time it was 10:48 and Trump was about to speak in like 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, let me just be safe. I decided to move my stop to break even pretty early due to that speech. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what to expect, so I'm just gonna break even and watch price. We ended up trading inside the M5 fair value gap pretty aggressively, and then displaced right back out. This looks like a manipulation to me. This formation right here told me, all right, this is what we needed to do to go to the upside. So at this point, I'm out of this position. At this point, I'm out of both positions. This sweep right here, this sweep right here took me out of both of these positions. So I'm like, all right, we got our manipulation and we got an SMT, then we displaced to the upside. I'm like, ooh, this is looking nice. Decided to enter with my full risk. I went in with my full risk on this one, feeling very confident that we were ready to head to the upside, and indeed we did. I ended up targeting my, well, no, that's not where I targeted actually. Hold on. The third position, the third activation, I say, because this is all one trade, right? None of this is this is all one trade, different executions. So yeah, so I was targeting the -2 standard deviation of this manipulation right here. So yeah, went straight into drawdown from the SMT and then this space to the upside, and I decided to break even. I really broke even, and price did not take me out here. It actually took me out about like right here. I can't really remember, but honestly I was feeling tired. I'm like, I've made way too many decisions. I just want to break even on this one. If we continue higher, then we continue higher. If we don't, we don't. We ended up actually taking the stop of this trade. I mean, I was broken even, but looking at it from I guess a single trade perspective, we ended up taking it. And then in the afternoon is when we played out the move that I was basically looking to play out. So yeah, long story short, today's move happened during the PM session, not while I was present. I mean, I feel positive about today's session. Let's actually go through my journal. So these are all of the different executions. This was my first trade, this was my second trade, and this was the third trade. So at the first execution, I noted currently in this trade, and we're just ranging. At equity open, we manipulated the pre-market range we were in, then displaced to the upside. I was not a fan of the displacement, nor a fan that we didn't take London low, so I executed with half of my risk. Around 11 o'clock, when here was my second execution, executed again. Not gonna lie, I did not apply proper risk, aka too little. I re-entered with the same risk. Price broke out. It was pretty fast, so I just bought it. Trump is about to speak in 2 minutes, so I broke even, right? Like I explained earlier. This is a screenshot of the actual like live, whatever. Noted, just moved my stop to M5, blah, 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 blah. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah, stopped out on both positions. That was when we traded inside of this M5 fair value gap. Was this the last trade, I think? Yeah, and this was the last trade. There we go. Oh, I still have to document. Oh damn, I did not document this trade. I'm about to do that right now. Really, I'd probably say my biggest lesson for this one, I don't know, I'm not sure if I would do anything different, because for those first two positions, I don't regret breaking even early, knowing news is about to break out. I don't really regret that, no. As of right now, I don't regret anything. I mean, I could have made money, but what's the point of focusing on that? What's the point of focusing on what could have happened? Because that could have doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. What happened is what happened. Okay. Until tomorrow.